Grab your popcorn, rip that ticket, get in that seat, lickety splicket. Go watch a movie. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Go Watch a Movie, episode 158. That's right, bitches, we're back. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
All of you who thought we were gone, who thought we had given up, fuck you. And to those who were waiting on us to come back, we're glad to be back and glad to be back with you. Today, just in time for the holiday season, actually this is going to come out before Christmas, but just in time for the holiday season, we are doing Fatman. And those of you who don't know what that is, maybe like, what does that have to do with Christmas? Well, you'll find out. But before we get into that, a little bit of entertainment news. Okay, so there's been a lot that has happened, but I think the biggest thing that went down in the entertainment news is Disney's investment day. Boy, did they go crazy. Let's start on the Star Wars side of things. So they are doing, they have set out that the Disney Plus service will be getting Ahsoka Star Wars TV show, A Droid Story Star Wars TV show, The Acolyte Star Wars TV show, Andor Star Wars TV show, Lando Star Wars TV show, Visions Star Wars TV show, Rangers of the Republic Star Wars TV show, The Bad Batch animated Star Wars TV show, that spin-offs of Clone Wars, and some of those spins off of The Mandalorian. But good Lord. Good
yeah.
Lord.
So basically, they just need their own channel for Star Wars now, because that's all you're going to see.
And that's so they came out. They said they want to dominate the streaming service, basically landscape. They want to dominate it. Disney wants to do that, and they have the IP to do that. They're developing these characters on other shows. Ahsoka made her appearance on The Mandalorian, and Rosario Dawson did a wonderful job. People loved it. So that show, people are looking forward to. Some of these are, whatever. But so
here's my thing.
Yeah.
I understand what they're going for. I understand their thinking process, but I also think it's overkill. I think it's too much. Remember like Castaway? Was it Castaway with Tom Hanks when he was like eating lobster every day or something? And he said he had a lot. I mean, who doesn't want to eat lobster every day? It's like the most decadent, expensive, delicious thing, right? But then he goes back. Sorry for those who haven't seen the movie, I'm ruining it for you. He goes home, and they they have a lobster there sitting for him. Like, here's a treat for you. Like, he's been eating lobster this whole time. He doesn't want to eat a lobster. It's the same thing. We don't want to be oversaturated with Star Wars. We're going to get sick of it. We want just enough of it that we got to have more. Not to the point where we're just like, yeah, Star Wars.
I agree. And hopefully they stagger these enough, throughout over the next few years to where it won't feel that way. But involved in this, I didn't mention the Obi-Wan show. That's also coming. But
it's going to be like a game show.
The Obi-Wan show. Oh. These aren't the prizes you're looking for. That's how he gets rid of people. But Hayden Christensen, aka Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader, has been signed to make an appearance in that show as Darth Vader. So yeah. Looking forward to see how they do that. But that's only half of this Disney portion, because on the other side of things, they also released on that same day the announcement of all their Marvel IP that's coming. There's some movies. The Fantastic Four movie has been confirmed by them, which we knew was coming. Ant-Man and Wasp got a title, part 3 for that. Quantumania. There will be a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. Captain Marvel 2, of course. And then let's get into the TV shows. We have I Am Groot, which is going to be an animated story partnering Groot up with a bunch of different people. Secret Invasion, which is what I'm excited for, a live action show with Samuel L. Jackson coming back as Nick Fury with the Skrulls and all that stuff. Armor Wars with Rhodey taking up the role of War Machine once again. Ironheart is getting one. And Black Panther 2 is coming. There's a lot.
I'm not really sad about that though, just because I think those are different enough that it's not going to be like an oversaturation. I think those all have their own flavor.
And these are going to be the starts of, which some people are upset about, the intertwining of the cinematic / TV. So some things will get introduced in these shows and then spun into the movies, and vice versa. So, yeah.
I want the I Am Groot show to be a talk show with Groot as the host, interviewing people, and all he says is I am Groot. All the biggest stars go on that show, and he just says I am Groot the entire time.
Ladies and gentlemen, your host, I Am Groot. Yeah, applause. I Am Groot. The little laugh track underneath.
Mm-hmm.
But James Gunn is writing that and the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. So busy man right there. We do have a couple dates with those. I didn't mention Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which is March 25th, 2022. Captain Marvel 2, November 11th, 2022. Black Panther, July 8th, 2022. WandaVision is coming as well, and I lost track of where that date is, but all of that's coming to Disney Plus. They, like I said, they wowed the world with all their releases. Hopefully, because we've heard, there's like Moon Knight, She-Hulk as well. My list is all over the place, but yeah, hopefully they come through this time, because this is the first time we've seen lists like this from them. We were supposed to get all this stuff, some of this stuff at the launch of Disney Plus, and some more this year, but of course, COVID happened. But on another side, I must tread carefully here. There is a streaming company that has pissed everyone off. HBO Max has, and this is probably the more infamous biggest story of since we've been gone. HBO Max announced that they will be releasing all of their big movies on the streaming service at the same time as theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that makes a lot of people happy, because a lot of people don't like to go to movies, but that is a massive, big nail in the coffin for theaters.
Yep.
Because we're talking Wonder Woman 1984, Dune, Kong versus Godzilla. Just think Matrix 4 is on that list. All of those films that would have given the theaters the much needed push that they need after this whole COVID thing are now going same day to a streaming service where people don't have to leave their houses.
Is it going to be crazy though? Is it going to be like, okay, you have to subscribe to HBO Max, and then on top of that, pay $20 for a movie just for that one viewing?
Yet to be determined. I don't think they're going to go that route, because that it did work for Disney Plus with Mulan, but I don't think HBO Max is going to do that. Because they did shortly after they announced that, they took away all their free trials to HBO Max. Mm-hmm. And so it's just insane. Like the repercussions to this are, of course, AMC's Regal, a couple others spoke out and are furious, rightfully so, because this is gonna, like I said, this is a massive nail in the coffin to them. But you have to also look at the other side of things, and I'm hopefully not giving other people ideas. This is a pirate's dream. And I don't mean Captain Jack Sparrow. I mean a internet pirate who only needs a digital copy to touch the internet, and they can download it and resend it all over the place. Mm-hmm. So this is, it's like the consequences of this are insane. Just one pirate needs HBO Max, and he downloads, records almost a near perfect quality because they have the technology out there, and boom, all those movies are now free for everybody on the internet. Now they're losing out, and it's just it's maddening. It is maddening. What do you think, man?
I think we're going to see some changes happen in the future, and now all of us are going to like them.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's just to shorten it and make it sweet and simple. We got some stuff coming.
Yeah.
Donkey.
Yeah, and I mean, I shouldn't just put this on HBO because Warner is the parent company that made the ultimate decision. But it is a big deal, and it sucks. But I mean, they hold all the it's their movies, and they have a channel that's kind of struggling, so they made the right choice for them, I guess. So, but that'll bring us to trailers. You first to me, sir.
I'll go right ahead.
All right. I'm glad it took a while because trailers are finally starting to come back. So, Outside the Wire. This is with old Anthony Mackie himself, Mr. Falcon. It's a Netflix film. He is playing a cyborg android, I guess, soldier, and he gets sent a newbie. And the mission's unclear what they have to do, but they partner up to go and I guess stop something together. But it looks pretty badass as far as like it's set in the future. And he's like this super, you talk about, think Captain's a super soldier. This guy's insane. He's jumping around fighting giant mechs who are shooting missiles at him, but he's just a dude who looks like a dude to you and me, but underneath it all, he's part machine, and he's just dominating the world. But like I said, you don't get a lot of the story in the trailer, which is fine, but it hooked me in.
It kind of reminds me of the second season of Altered Carbon for some reason, maybe just because he was in it.
Yeah.
Well, mine is it's going to be 2021, I believe. It's an Asian film, and it is called The Swordsman. And it's basically about, there's this young swordsman. He gets in this is the beginning of the trailer. He gets in a fight with somebody. I don't know if he's more experienced. It seems like slightly older, maybe middle-aged gentleman. And I guess the older gentleman, the one that he's fighting, ends up breaking his sword. Not his sword, but the young man's sword. And some shards go into his eyes. So then he leaves. Obviously, he lost. And he becomes partially blind, but he ends up having a daughter, and they live out in the woods together. And, they take care of each other. I guess he basically takes care of his daughter, but now that she's older, she's kind of taking care of him because he's partially blind. And I guess some thugs from town or the village next door catch eye of the daughter and, offer her a position working for them, or who knows what this is all about. But anyway, they basically kidnap his daughter. And then the blind swordsman has to take up his sword again and go and save his daughter. Sounds pretty simple, pretty cut, pretty standard issue for this type of film. But I like it because of the simplicity of it. And I like that it's just a basic story about a guy who in his youth lost, not to himself, probably lost everything because he lost part of his vision and his ability to fight. But then he gained something through his daughter. And then when he loses that, he has to pick up the sword again and then prove himself, I guess, either to himself or to his daughter to save her. And I just like that simplicity.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I like that simplistic story, and it looks really nice too. I can't wait to see the choreography that they come up with because it looks pretty good. It looks pretty sharp, no pun intended. And I'm just excited. I'm excited for it. So mine is The Swordsman.
Is it the I always go back to this because I don't know how to explain it, but is it like the Crouching Tiger fighting style?
No, it's more realistic, and that's another thing that I like. Well, to an extent. I mean, there are some really fast moves, but I think a professional sportsman could actually pull off that kind of stuff. Okay. I think it's within the realm of possibility, but it is a little bit faster than your normal average dude, but nowhere near like we're gonna go floating in the cloud and sword fight and do all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that one out. A couple more trailers. Just want to ask you if you've seen them because it's been a while. Have you seen the Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer that finally came out?
I have.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah,
I was actually more impressed with the Loki trailer. That one looks darn good.
That one I'm still on the fence about because I'm not sure if Loki can handle a show by himself. I feel like he makes a really good supporting character. I like to see his banter with other people, especially with Thor. But by himself, just him doing him, I don't know.
Gotcha.
I look back at the movies that he's been in. He was never my favorite part of any of them. He was a great supporting character, a good villain, good comic relief sometimes. But do I just want to watch him?
I hear you. Well, that will bring us to the Fatman, or just Fatman, a watch spot if you would not mind.
First, I would like to say, Merry Christmas. Since these rude assholes did not. Now to the movie. To save his declining business, Kris Kringle, also known as Santa Claus, is forced into a partnership with the US military. Making matters worse, Kris gets locked into a deadly battle of wits against a highly skilled assassin, hired by a precocious 12-year-old, after receiving a lump of coal in his stocking.
Thank you, Watchbot. I'm not going to bury the lead with this one. At all. Wow. I was tickled pink with this. Tickled slightly browner, I guess, because I can't be tickled pink.
You tickle hard enough.
This I don't know if it's, I have a thing about people taking the stories we know and love and just flipping them completely on their heads, like Hook and other stuff like that. And I feel like this one did such a good job at doing that, and it kept it grounded. Like we like, I thought we were gonna get like jingle bells and all that stuff, and like actual flying reindeer and all that, but it subtly hinted to it, letting you know that stuff is there, but not like, you know, as commercialized as we need it to be. And it stayed gritty while doing that at the same time, and had the right humor. I enjoyed this so much. What did you think of this?
This one took a long time for me to start to get into it. This one kind of, it wasn't like, I was wondering what it was supposed to be. Cause like it would hint that it was, you know, he was Santa Claus, but then I'm thinking, well, maybe they're going to do some switcheroo and he really isn't, or they're going to do something. And it's like, because it was so grounded, like you said, maybe they're going to twist it on us, making us think it's going to be that, but then it wasn't. But then they just flat out said, yeah, this is what it is. Especially when I was hoping they wouldn't show the elves. Just, you know what I mean? Just so it could be kind of like a little bit of a mystery, but then, you know, boom, poof. The elves' ears, the jingle bells on the toes, the whole.
They cut them off.
Yeah, but it was almost like, okay, you're definitely going there now, so there's no turning back. But I will say, it did end in a way. Well, it almost ended in a way that I enjoyed, but I would have preferred it. They ended it at a different spot. But I'll get to that when we get to that.
Mel Gibson. Yes. This man has been through the ringer.
Yeah, he has.
And I'm glad they partnered him. I know there's Kelvin promoting the black stuff again, but I'm glad they partnered him with a black wife, because he's had a stink on him for a long time.
You think they did that purposely to try to remove the stink? Because did it seem like?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But because she's just a great actress, but she probably worked. I don't want to reduce her to that at all. But I just think it, like, because like I said, he has had a stink on him about being a racist and all that for a very long time. So good on him, you know, for yeah. But that's beside the point. He was this crazy wild guy who could do insane roles and tone it down, and then he kind of became this grumbly old man, which we kind of see in Fatman because that's been most of his roles in this age.
Like
but he does it so well.
Yeah, the very beginning of the movie when he's just being grumpy and, you know, being that old guy, I just picture that's how he really is now, like Mel Gibson. Like I just think, yeah, like he's just being himself right now, isn't he?
But it was
out there on the farm shooting at cans.
Go, Riggs, you think you're getting too old for this shit? I am. But no, I think he this portrayal of Kris Kringle is of course one like I've never seen before. But I thought it fit his role, and then he was able to flip it on his head. Like we saw the change, and he was able to pull that off. Mm-hmm. So I enjoyed that a lot. What do you think about Mel?
About Mel? He was okay. He was okay. I did like the grumpy. I like the grumpier Mel more so than I like the optimistic, cheery Mel. But I will say he wasn't the. And I loved his beard, by the way. I thought he pulled off the beard look very well. But my enjoyment came more from the supporting characters, like the two villains, Skinny Man and Billy. I liked them more so, just because they were so. Like for one, Skinny Man, the whole hamster thing. I mean, why? But it just worked for some reason. It just made the character that much more enjoyable, like a treat to watch. Plus, when you find out at the end why he does what he's doing, and it wasn't just some stupid thing, kind of like with Billy, where he's just a bad kid and that's why he gets coal. When you find out, you know, Skinny Man's story, you're like, yeah, you feel a little sorry for him, but at the same time, he's still the bad guy. You don't want him to win, but it adds some depth to it that I was looking for that I didn't really get at the beginning of the film, but I definitely got it at the end.
So Walter Goggins, the Skinny Man. I fell in love with this guy back in Justified. He played Boyd Crowder, and he was this, other than Timothy Oliphant's character, he was this standout just in a city, and they call him this in this, so I'm not being whatever, in a city full of hicks, a town full of hicks. He was this hick as well, but he was like just overly intelligent and always shined in that role. And he did it again in this. I agree with you 100%. He freaking put on a clinic because the quirks he did, the OCD, the hamster thing, they never explained his obsession with Santa Claus while being this insanely good hitman who can take on half the military.
Right.
Pretty freaking awesome. Billy, I don't know.
I even thought Billy did a good job just because I liked how wicked he was. I mean, he played sweet to grandma, but he was just a wicked little thing, and I enjoyed that duality, seeing both of those sides.
But you said you didn't think this had any real girth and tells, the Skinny Man, like the movie.
The movie, like it didn't grab me. Gotcha. Until it got later in the movie, and much later in the movie, and that's kind of around the time when I was like, okay, I'm into this. I wasn't into it until then.
I was really enjoying seeing this broken down, beat Santa Claus who's gonna lose the farm, I guess. And he's got troubles like everybody. He's got to provide, for all the elves. And
I didn't like the whole we work with or for, or we've been hidden by the government. That's
what I thought that was cool, because I was like, of course he needs to do that because they're going to see him at some point flying around the globe. So But the representatives from the government that are, go to talk to him just seem like idiots. They were very slapsticky.
They were very stereotypical, dumb, just not what I wanted. I mean, I would have preferred somebody else. I guess it did give some contrast, but I don't know. That just wasn't my favorite part of the film.
Gotcha. Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of them either. Did you have any standout moments in this one?
Pretty much everything with Skinny Man. I liked Skinny Man. I liked even when Billy threatened the girl in his basement, even though I think that they could have turned that up a little bit more. I don't think she really even seemed scared. She was just kind of confused, like, why am I in his basement and why is he threatening me? She wasn't really, you know what I mean? She didn't seem scared to me. But I mean, those moments were good. Even pretty much the once he puts on the white coat, and then after that, I think everything after that was fantastic. I did want it to end differently, though. When we finally get to the end of the story, I'll say what I wanted. But man, I don't know. I'm on the fence.
I enjoyed. I'm trying to think of my stand-up because I was like, I was giddy throughout most of this movie. I was enjoying everything. Oh, I guess the fight scene, because they have been teasing Kringle's strength. Spoilers.
Which I don't think he used in that fight, though.
I don't see the skinny man should have been out cold after seeing the displays of that strength.
Yeah,
but I loved his ingenuity in that fight. He's sneaking close, and they use his stealthiness, because Santa Claus is stealthy and gets to get up there, and I just enjoyed that.
I like the primary hint that we really are dealing with Santa Claus is when he's in the bar and he gets that drink, which I've never heard of before, and then he sits next to the guy and he tells him about his wife and his kids and how he should probably go home if he drives 12 hours. He can just make it. I like that because it was subtle. It was kind of like a vigilante type, attitude, but it worked for
stuff
me.
I loved about it and he did it again with like the
one of the military
idiots.
Guys. Yeah.
Like, we were a little touch and go for a while. Huh? I'm sorry. We were a little touch and go here for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I like that. I like that way they did that. But I don't know. Him lifting, like a couple guys couldn't lift something, so then he walks over and lifts it. I didn't need that. That wasn't necessary.
I don't know. I like those little nods to that he's something different, because and then even the subtleness to like when he got shot the first time by the kids.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, let me get it. He's like, oh, he'll just, regularly like everything else does. And that was like a hint that he heals differently than us, Yeah.
What about, did it bother you that the movie was called The Fat Man? And obviously it's about Santa, but he wasn't really fat.
It did. That was going to be my main thing. I was really wish they had even if a fat suit or something, because he was not. He just had a beer gut, basically.
Mm-hmm. I didn't want them to go full out fat suit, comical, but I did want him to have a little more girth. I felt like it would have felt more like Santa if he had a little more girth. I felt like they were starving Santa, but he eats cookies all the time, so I don't see how that's working.
Maybe that's their way of making him Fat Man. He's always stealing cookies from his wife. Mm-hmm. I want one of those cookies.
I know they look delicious. I don't know how she bakes those, but that was I do like the cookies. I liked whenever he would go to town, she would cook a plate of cookies for him.
Yeah. Let's get to this ending, sir.
Okay. What did you think?
I know where you're going, and I didn't want him to die. Spoilers alert. I didn't want him to die because, like I said, I got a nod that he heals differently from that whole thing. So I was like, of course he's going to be fine. But at the same time, I'll let you go ahead because I think I agree with
that's not where I was going. That's not where I was going. I did not want to see Santa die. Although now that you say that would have been one heck of an ending. That would have knocked me right out of my seat. Would have been like, okay, that's where you were going with all this. But no, the ending that I wanted. So spoilers, was not the happy ending. Not the. We're going to build this bigger and better than it was before, and everyone's happy. Let's all hug and eat a cookie. That's not the ending that I wanted. I want, even though it's Christmas season. I don't want to say that's the purpose of this movie, but I get why they did what they did. But I just didn't want that. The ending that I wanted is when he goes to the boy's house, And he says to the boy, after he gives him a long speech about him being, he's got to shape up or he's going to be in trouble. And he's like, Santa's got his eye on you. That's where they should have ended it. Right there.
Oh.
That would have been perfect for me. I would have been like, because I would have left so much open. You don't know if he's going to start going more vigilante Santa, like he's going to equip the red sleigh with machine guns and all kinds of stuff and drive around like Mad Max and go crazy on folks when they're not behaving. That's the ending that I wanted, the one that would make my imagination run wild and just drive me nuts. But instead we're going to build this bigger and better than ever. Let's all eat a cookie.
Okay. So I was thinking like my whole thing, I would love to see that.
So if you guys make a sequel, that's the one I want. Machine guns.
I thought they were going to go with like, instead of going all the way up to the kids' room, just like the doorbell rings and then it's just fucking Santa there with the grimace on his face and the fucking bloody eye patch and it fades to black. But yeah, I would love to see machine gun slay Santa.
Yes. Gatling gun on the side of there. All the reindeer have like armor, spikes.
Oh shit.
He throws packages out of his sleigh that are really bombs. See, that's what I needed. I needed an ending that made my imagination run wild.
But I mean, he still could do that because he said he's taking a new approach. He's going to go hands-on. So apparently, if there's anybody he ever sees that's like the Skinny Man again, he's going to go put a stop to that shit.
It has to. Otherwise, he's going to just end up getting somebody killed. It's kind of like almost like the Minority Report. It's like he knows someone's going to do something bad, but they haven't done it yet. So what do I do? Do I give him coal, or do I give him a bomb?
I did love his little speech. I'll come while you're sleeping and rip you from your sheets. Like, well, I just wet myself a little.
Yeah. It almost could have been like something for like a origin story for something more Krampus or something. I don't know. Like how he turns and becomes evil.
Yeah. Yeah. What else do you have Rotten Tomatoes pulled up?
I do. The critics were not overly friendly. They gave it a 46% green splat. But the audience, only 30 audience scores, but it's an 83%.
Okay. I like that a lot. Because what do you think of this one? Like, go watch or not for you? I guess I should.
It is a go watch, but only because for me it almost ended on a strong note. I almost got what I wanted at the end of that movie that brought it all together. And like I said, once the characters are fully fleshed out, not just Skinny Man, but also Santa, overcoming his trials and tribulations, like everybody. Like once everybody becomes fleshed out, it does become more of an enjoyable story for me. You just have to get there.
Gotcha. I was, as always, I love the little world that was built around it. Like the whole little story behind the elves, why Savin's in charge, and how they have the ethics of I'm not gonna become number one because those are our fallen comrades, and that gives a hint to exactly how long they've been fucking doing it and all that stuff. And so I'm definitely gonna go watch. I think it's on sale right now everywhere, I think, and I think it should be checked out. It's a fun, especially Christmas is here. Come on.
This isn't really going to be my go-to Christmas movie every year. That's for sure. But it is definitely a unique enough piece that I think people should see it just because it's so out there.
Yeah. It's not something that you're going to, I haven't seen much like it,
Yeah. I mean, how many times do we say, oh, geez, we wish we could get something new instead of just the same, cookie cutter thing over and over again. Well, here we got something that's kind of new. So.
Yeah, and we skimmed over Ruth, and Ruth is just awesome. I mean, she saved the day, So
she was that perfect counter to Santa's grumpiness to get him back on track. So yeah. I mean, I think by herself, maybe she's just too sweet and cookie-like, but next to him, I think it worked because it gave you the contrast. And
that very touching moment with I've always loved. And this is going to sound very weird, but I've always loved to watch Mel Gibson cry. I but yeah, and so that very touching moment there. That was good stuff. But that's Fatman, and that is our glorious return, you bastards. Let us know what you think, though. We want to know what you think. And New Year is coming. I think we have one more episode. Yeah, our New Year's special event or whatever the fuck we do. And I think we'll, like we have in the past, if you're good with it, we'll do what our favorite movie of this year has been, and I'll put it out there on the social medias to see what your favorite movies of this year has been. Movies, whatever you think. Doesn't have to be one. We just go with one because it builds a suspense. So yeah, but yeah, I miss you guys. This is fun. Love getting down talking movies, and because that's, even though the atmosphere, the landscape of movies is changing, and 2021 is going to be very different for them. I really think may have to change the name of the show to go stream a movie. But
you're still going to watch a movie. You're just going to your living room. That's all.
Oh, it makes me so sad. Don't you miss the sticky floors, the crunching of popcorn, that gigantic screen shining down on you? It's almost warming. It's like the hand of God coming to cradle you.
Yeah, I don't miss the little kid that won't stop screaming, or the guy that sits behind you and keeps coughing over and over again.
We're making them want to go back to movies. One day we're going to have to sit down and think of all the hilarious stories of things that have happened to us in theaters. Because there's been a few. And just compile those in an episode. But yeah, it's good to be back. I don't want to linger too much because it's fresh, and I want this to be a quick snap in your ear hole to get your ear hole. And I want to just say this too, all you other fucking podcasts out there. You sent well wishes. I hope you guys are okay. I hope you're doing good. We're fucking fine, and we're fucking back. You just know that we're coming for you. Like Luda said, we're coming for that #1 spot. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Go watch a fucking movie. Grab your popcorn, rip that ticket. Get in that seat, lickety-split it. Go watch a